Hello, welcome back to 340 Paddler, and today we're going to talk about race delays and alternative starts. Now, we don't like talking about this. We like to think that everything's going to be beautiful and wonderful, and the sun will be shining, and the birds will be chirping, and we won't be in pain. Well, for the one time that we won't be in pain for the next 48, 72, 88 hours, whatever it happens to be. But delays, of course, do happen, and there are three kinds that we could potentially see in the 340. We could see a delay at the start, a pushback, a 24 or 48 hour delay, or we could see a postponement. So let's deal with those. First, a storm delay. Now this has happened. This happened in, I believe it was 2009, and what happened is there was a lightning in the area. So they delayed the start by 90 minutes. And then those 90 minutes sort of wore off as they moved on. So Lexington, the deadline went from 5 to 6:30, but then at Waverly, it's only pushed an hour 15, and at Miami, it's only an hour, etc. So that they get rid of that, and you still have to finish by Friday at 11:59 or at midnight. So when will this happen? Really only if there's lightning in the area. If it's raining heavily, we will still start. Fog may cause a delay. That kind of comes down to how thick the fog is. Then we have the 24-48 hour delay. Now this has turned up in the race rules and was part of the waiver that you signed when you registered for the 340, and people have questions about this. And basically, where you would see a 24-48 hour delay is when we have high water from a rainstorm. With the Missouri, we can have high water kind of crest and fall within 24 hours. In fact, it's not uncommon during the summer. So what would happen is we would simply push the start. So with a 24-hour delay, the safety meeting gets bumped to Tuesday at 7 p.m., and the start is Wednesday morning with an awards ceremony on Saturday. A 48-hour delay means a safety meeting on Wednesday at 7 p.m. The start will be Thursday morning, and the awards will be Sunday. So we're simply bumping it back either 24 or 48 hours. Now this has happened in the past. I believe it was 2015 that this scenario happened, and then there was a second rainstorm on top of it that ended up pushing us to our next delay, the month delay. Now, to my knowledge, this has happened 3 times. This has happened in 2010 because of some massive rainstorms the week before the race. In 2011, because the Missouri just didn't know where its banks were and decided that it was going to flood everywhere. It was not a great year to live on the Missouri. And then in 2015, we had a month delay, and that was because we had another storm come in. We had a delay on top of a delay. There was a lot of rain. It was a problem. Now, usually the month delay is more common when the race is earlier in July. For example, 2015, it was the second week of July, first or second week. So as the race has been moved back to the end of July or early August, this becomes much more rare, but it could happen. So if we see a situation like this, where you don't even know where Caw Point is, but it's somewhere in there. I think it's somewhere in there. It might not be. I could always be wrong. But what will happen is there will be vouchers. You will be allowed to sign up for the new race, which is usually the next full moon or 1 month later. And it follows the same pattern. So the new race date would follow the same Monday safety meeting, Tuesday start, Friday deadline, and award ceremony. Now, if you couldn't make the new dates, you would get a voucher. You do not get your money back, but you get a voucher to a future 340. And I believe you have to use it within a year. And what you'll do is if you have that voucher, you'll be able to sign up a couple of weeks earlier than everyone else, make sure that you're on the list, and boom, you are in the 340. And in fact, 340 Paddler has used these vouchers twice. The first 2 years I registered. 2010, registered, voucher, moved on. 2011, registered with my voucher, and then got a voucher. So it doesn't mean I have 2 vouchers. It simply means the same registration has continued to pass on. so that I could race in 2012, the first time I actually raced in the 340. So these are things that we have to be concerned with. They are things that exist. Be aware of how they work so that you can plan. And the first thing you should do, if there is a delay, especially a 24 or 48 hour delay, is call the Hilton Garden Inn in Kansas City. That's usually the first place where people are trying to book for the next night. But make sure to wait at least 20 minutes until 20 minutes after I've found out so that I can get my room extended. This is 340 Paddler. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, quarrels, qualms, quandaries, curse words, please leave them in the comments below. Otherwise, this is 340 Paddler, hoping that you keep your paddle in the water. This video brought to you by the South Dakota Kayak Challenge. South Dakota Kayak Challenge is unique. It has a shuttle. You can drop your car at the finish line on Friday, and it will drive you back up to South Dakota, possibly kicking and screaming. It's a comfortable ride that will get you back to the start in time for the safety meeting. Did I say safety? Of course the shuttle is generally safe and has never run into a barge. You can have time to talk to your fellow paddlers while passing absolutely nothing in South Dakota because it's pretty much all grass and people from South Dakota. The South Dakota Kayak Challenge, providing a shuttle bus which ensures you get to come for the fun and stay for the frostbite. Yes, the South Dakota Kayak Challenge registration opens January 1st.